I am in love with the entire Mass Effect trilogy soundtrack, but especially Mass Effect 2. What hidden secrets and techniques have Jack Wall and the team used in the suicide mission? Let's find out. The four key elements to most epic music today are string ensembles, brass ensembles, heavy percussion, and choir. Suicide Mission utilizes each of these elements without reservation. String ensemble writing can include both use of staccato and high sustained notes, such as in section A1. Through use of spiccato, the rhythm of the song is driven forward. Now, as you can see here, repeating your spiccato line is not forbidden, as if your melody line is solid, it can actually keep the song consistent if you don't deviate too much from a pattern. Octave strings can double any melody line, since the violin's long range can be handy in many situations. For brass ensembles, the key is to stick between 2 and 4 voices, depending on how large the song is at that point. Usually 4 voices are stretching the top of the loudness chart, such as in section B3. It is also important to have at least a couple voices play a different line other than the main melody to avoid sounding samey. There wouldn't be epic music without epic percussion. What you'll notice in Suicide Mission is the consistent use of the same rhythm pattern. Like in the spiccato strings, this is okay to have such repetition to establish a groove in the song. Layering the drums with at least 4 or 5 different drum sounds can make a huge impact on the overall epic feel. Lastly, for choir, they provide the human element that often connects us further with the tune. Suicide Mission uses 2 functions of the choir, the first being the sustained and the second being staccato. Sustained choir serves as a synth pad mostly, as in the interlude here. Then staccato choir can accent melody notes, such as in section B2. This being a Mass Effect score, Jack Wall and a team of composers were careful to combine both synthetic and organic instruments. The key to getting a good blend between the two is picking which will be the main focus for the song. For example, many songs in Mass Effect 1 focused on electronic music, with a sprinkling of orchestral elements such as strings or brass. Mass Effect 2, especially in the final act, puts the center of attention on the orchestral elements we discussed before. Using both synthetic and organic instruments in this way better assists the soundtrack to sound cohesive from song to song. In an epic song such as this, how much bass should you use? The answer is a lot, but be very careful with it. When you listen to section A1, cellos and double bass play a huge role in carving out the low end. But along with the cellos, a synthetic sub-bass further extends the lower frequencies. Now you must be careful in how you compose these bass instruments, because if you stack too many voices together, it can end up sounding like mush. So keep things mostly in octaves or just single notes, but don't be afraid to make bass really impactful in your song. Controlling dynamics is perhaps one of the most important aspects in the epic music. If epic music was always kept at this high intensity, the listener would suffer from ear fatigue quickly and move on to a new song. You must include breaks in the music to allow the listener and you yourself to calm down and prepare for the next large section. In Suicide Mission, Jack Wall utilizes a break beautifully in this interlude. The interlude divides the song right in half and includes fewer instruments and a slower pace. Bookending a song, such as starting off soft and ending soft, is a great songwriting technique as it takes the listener on a journey before ending back up where we came from. The fifth and final secret in Suicide Mission is how Jack creates this effective drum groove. First off, notice the several notes stacked on top of each other. This assists in the overall impact of the entire hit. As we discussed earlier, the repetition is very key, so notice the clear repetition used in this part. Notice also these smaller single notes. As I turn the tempo down and activate the metronome, these single notes provide syncopation that increases the groove of the song. I interviewed Jack Wall, the lead composer of Mass Effect 2, on how he composed the score for the game. Click the link in the description below to watch the chat we had together. If you want to help grow this channel and reach more well-known composers, consider helping me out on Patreon and becoming a part of the community. I thank all my current Patreons for giving me the support I need to make videos like this. Farewell.